That's amazing. Let me ask you this one thing, because you mentioned dealing with this all day long. Now the CGM makes it a little easier. It gives you clues. Hey, you're going up. You can correct real
A
quick
lot easier, yeah.
and avoid some of the the big corrections you need later. But sleeping is challenging because you go to bed and you're asleep. I mean, so how do you? I mean, is there a prophylactic way to make the night better? Does he like dose him with some regular overnight for a slow? I mean, or is the basal enough? I guess we didn't really
Right.
touch on basal, but how does he do his basal? What is that based on? Is it just pure weight, or is it
The dosing of the basal is trial and error. It depends a lot on the type of basal insulin that you're using. So Dave was on Levemir, which is a shorter acting basal insulin, and he used 3 shots of Levemir a day. He's now on Tarceva, he uses 1 shot a day. We found that the action of Tarceva works well in the sense that if I give it to him in the morning, or he takes it in the morning, because I'm talking like the long-term caregiver, he takes it in the morning, and then what'll happen is it'll go 24 hours, and then I'll start to see it wear off around 4 a.m. If he goes low around 3 or 4 a.m., he'll take that Tarceva dose, which is now about 20 units, and subtract 1. If he goes high around 4 a.m., he'll add 1. So we've got this nice little trial and error pivot point that we've discovered. And we had our own different pivot points with Levemir. But these are the mysteries that you can unravel once you get rid of the carbohydrate in your meal. So anyway, but it doesn't really. And now if you exercise, what if he plays pickup basketball one day? He's going to be more insulin sensitive. So he might recognize that and have some food like some macadamia nuts before dinner or before bed or something like that, right? And that'll kind of keep him up. But you still have to check. There's really no way around it. He cannot go to bed at 10 p.m. and wake up at 6 with the same blood sugar he went to bed at. It doesn't work that way. And it does work that way if you run yourself at 200. And that doctors will tell the parents, you're going to get burned out. Just run him high so you can get some sleep. And they told us that. And I thought, God damn, dude, over my fucking dead body, am I going to let my kid run? I'll just work different hours and stay up but it really isn't that big a deal. You put a loaded syringe of corrective insulin, and you put the sugar bowl next to the bed with some water. You check his blood sugar around 2 or 3. If it needs correcting, I'm like a NASA pit crew changing tires, man. I can get in and out. Plus I work out, if you work out, you drink a lot of water, you got to pee in the middle of the night. So there's just no excuse for not taking care of your kid. You'll never regret having to wake up goddamn once in the middle of the night to make sure your kid's blood sugar is safe and normal. So, well, now he's in college, so with the CGM, I could watch him, and we're in a time differential, so it's kind of nice. So I just call him and I say, Dave, wake up, and he'll say, be asleep. I say, yeah, take some glucose or take some insulin. Okay, yeah. So yeah, it's 24/7, but the habit becomes more like brushing your teeth. It doesn't feel like your kid's dying in slow motion right in front of you over a period of years. It feels like a little bit tedious, but you get used to it. How about that?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's kind of interesting because unfortunately, you've got this lifelong disease. It's horrible. You wish no one to have it on, but in a way, it kind of, if you manage it right, it directs you into a very healthy lifestyle. I mean, it's kind of like, it's like,
oh yeah,
as long as I stay and do the right things and be healthy and exercise and eat well, and I'm going to have a lot better chance managing this, and this kind of forces my hand a little bit. It's like, it's almost, I want to call it a blessing,
we live in Hawaii. These boys go to the beach with their shirts off, and they look, like my youngest son, he's in water polo. He's tan. He doesn't eat, anything different than we eat. I mean, the dude looks I wish I would have looked like that when I was younger, but I was too stupid eating the damn total cereal thinking that I was doing the right thing. He eats eggs and beef.
Yeah.
And he looks like a Greek god. And he just turned 16. It's just, the sky is the limit. They look good. They're strong. They're both athletic people. They have an advantage over I took my youngest son, Hayden, to a swim meet, and they were feeding the kids before the race Doritos and grapes, little things to give them a little.
Yeah,
and
a
he
little boost
kicked
up.
everyone's ass. And you know, it's just like you said, it's just a total advantage to live this way. You're going to look better. You're going to feel better. And of course, you're type 1. It's like mandatory. It's essential. But, you know, the other benefits, and I should show you a before after picture of me. I'll post it on Twitter and tag you.
Yeah.
I was like 260 pounds, man. I went on this diet because I love my kid. And I'm like a jackhammer now, you know, with, you know, I have some disc issues and blah, 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 but way more healthy than I was 20 years ago. It's absurd.